Hello everybody, it's Star Raptor here. Welcome to another episode of This Week in Star Wars Canon, where every week I break down the latest in the Star Wars continuity, anything such as the comics, the novels, the TV series, and to the video games. And this week we had another issue of Dr. Aphra. This is issue number 13, and this is part 5 of the Enormous Prophet arc, and this finishes up that arc. So what this is basically about is Darth Vader has arrived at basically Dr. Aphra's party that she's throwing to sell off this crystal of roar. In the meantime, there was a droid that got its hands on this crystal of roar, and it basically took over the droid and made it into like a murderous Jedi kind of droid. And well, you have Darth Vader versed in this droid, and Dr. Aphra's not trying to get caught in the crossfire, and she does manage to escape, and she takes a nice vacation on this beach planet, and she's interrupted by some goons that basically she double crossed. So she is not out of the thick yet, and the great thing about this issue is it does tell where the droids 000 and BT, as well as the bounty hunter Wookiee Black Kirstenton, does end up, as well as it tells a little bit about Vader, so I did enjoy that. So getting into the specific things I enjoyed about this comic, where I liked seeing Darth Vader versing that droid. Of course, you know, the droid is no match for Darth Vader, and the droid thinks it could use its technopath ability to take over Vader's suit, but, you know, we've seen in Darth Vader number 24, where we had a certain character try to do that already, and Vader used the Force to just override it, so it's really neat seeing that callback to the prior Darth Vader series. Another thing I did enjoy about this is we do see that Vader acknowledges that he feels a presence. It doesn't outright say that he knows Aphra is alive, but he feels a very similar presence, and well, he kind of just like lets the ship that she's on go. So what does this really say about Vader? Is he just not care anymore? Does he have a soft spot for Aphra? He just wants her to leave? We don't know, because he tried killing her before, so obviously that can't be a soft spot sort of thing in his heart, because, well, Vader doesn't really even have a heart. He doesn't care about anybody but himself and the Emperor. Again, I did like seeing Aphra go on vacation. She's been through a lot. I mean, there's 13 issues of her just going on a hightail adventure, and well, she's on the beach having some drinks, and she gets interrupted. So it isn't long before she's thrown back into the thick of things. I did, like I said, I did like seeing the loose ends tied up a little bit with Black Kirstenton, who in that one annual story, he had a bone to pick with these slavers that put him there on this gladiatorial ring of combat type thing. It looks like he might have got his revenge. It kind of cuts off, doesn't show us what happens. As well as 000, he has his free will, and he actually exerts his free will on another lesser being, which is this Rodian, and he's basically back on Sun Tool, which is a place as well mentioned in Darth Vader comics, the 2015 run. So it's interesting seeing that 000 is actually like the puppet master. He's pulling the strings of this Rodian. And we catch up with Darth Vader, who's talking to Palpatine, and, you know, basically he goes and tells Palpatine, like, look, the criminal underworld is in shambles right now, thanks to Dr. Aphra. Now they can redouble their efforts on the battle with the rebels. And then Sidious, or Palpatine, whatever you want to call him, he ends up saying, oh, you know, to Vader, put that crystal of roar that he took from the from that droid, put it with the rest of the artifacts. So it's kind of neat seeing that Vader putting this artifact with a bunch of artifacts kind of surrounding it. So that is what I thought of Dr. Aphra number 13. Again, this concludes the arc to the Enormous Prophet, and I thought this was a pretty entertaining arc. It introduced us to a couple new characters, gave us some fleshed out backstory on characters like Black Kirstenton, kind of fleshed out even the droids a little bit more. So I highly recommend this arc of Dr. Aphra. And finally, like I did mention last week, I did attend the Lucasfilm publishing panel, and there were a couple, you know, pretty good announcements. First off, there was a hint that Daniel Jose Older is writing something very, very far in the past of Star Wars. Could it be the Old Republic? Probably not, but I'm still super excited about what he might be doing. Also, we are getting a Forces of Destiny miniseries. It's going to be a 5-parter put out by IDW. And finally, I kind of speculated this on last week's show, that we are getting a follow-up to Thrawn. It's going to be called Thrawn Alliances, and this is written none other by the legendary man himself, Timothy Zahn, and Thrawn is going to be teaming up with none other than Darth Vader. So we know it's going to be a great story, because I loved Lords of the Sith, which was pretty much a team up between Darth Vader and Palpatine. So I can't wait to see the dynamic between Darth Vader and Thrawn. It's going to be freaking spectacular. So that is going to do it for this week in Star Wars Canon. Next week, you could look forward to Poe Dameron number 20 as well as Phasma number 4. And I was supposed to get Star Wars Adventures number 3 in today. At least it was slated for publication. I don't know if my comic store just didn't get it. They're usually right on the ball with these releases, or if IDW's backed up. We don't know, so maybe I'll be talking about that next week as well. But as for content on my channel, if you're new, please consider subscribing. If you like this video, I do these every single Wednesday, the new comics, the new novels, but I also have tons of other coverage, including I have an entire playlist from New York Comic Con 2017. I have cosplay, I have the booths, I have the Last Jedi booth, which was super surprising to see there, and considering The Last Jedi, I have my trailer reaction, my trailer breakdown on the channel right now, so make sure you check that out. I'm Star Raptor. I want to thank you guys for nerding out with me, and may the Force be with you always. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also include 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me, and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at StarRaptor.